Okay. You want to start, Ashley?
Sure. No, they're together.
How do you communicate with parents and share your child's work and behavior?
Communication. We have a class website. I email the parents. We have a newsletter. We send home their weekly work, their class work on Fridays. We also have a conduct calendar to communicate any behavior issues. Their conduct calendar reflects both positive and negative behaviors for the week. And we send those home on Friday along with the graded papers, and the parents sign them and send it back on Monday.
Whatever you do by Friday.
How do the parents normally respond to that? They respond pretty well to
Yeah. Most of the most everyone comes back with their papers signed like they're supposed to.
Understand.
So far I haven't had any negative feedback from any parents or anything like that.
You had, I guess, like homeroom cards in the back of the room.
Okay.
That's for
And what are ways that you have engaged in community involvement with your class?
I personally have not had any community involvement, but our school, we have had like career day and things like that where we have people from within the community come out and talk to the kids.
And then they can stop taking. We take multiplication tests every Friday. So they
Okay, great, thank you.
Instead of taking the multiplication
Moving on
test,
to
they get
physical
5
arrangement.
minutes of free
Okay.
time.
What strategies or rules do you implement at the beginning of the year that ensures safety and fluidity in the classroom environment?
At the beginning of the year, I just really make sure that they understand like my rules and procedures. That's a big thing, just make sure that they know what to expect. They know what I expect from them, and then they know what to expect from me also. As far as fluidity, just making sure that everything runs smoothly. Within the first week, kind of learn personalities and things like that. So then, I see if I need to make any changes within the classroom to make things go more smoothly.
But I don't have anything out of this, so y'all need to ask whatever questions you want.
Okay. And what setup or arrangements have you found typically doesn't work in the classroom environment?
I thought you only had 3.
See,
I
don't even know how to answer that honestly, because different.
Okay.
Every year is different. Okay, so sometimes I have my desks separated into groups. Sometimes that works good, and sometimes it does not. And a lot of times it just kind of depends on the group members as well. Sometimes you got to spread them out. If you have a whole lot of kids in one group that like to do a lot of talking, you might need to spread them a little bit.
Anthony Robinson, please face your office. Anthony Robinson.
They have a...
Did I answer that? Is that what y'all
Yes.
were? Okay, all
Yes.
right. I was just making sure I was answering correctly.
Okay. And then moving to preventative management. What jobs or procedures do you use in your classroom to promote autonomous, independent learners?
Giving them jobs and things like that.
If you give them jobs, yes ma'am, or if there's just certain procedures that you have in place so that they don't have to come to you constantly and that they're able to, be responsible for their own learning.
Okay, all right. Well, I have a couple of jobs that I do have for the kids, just as far as book bag monitors and trash monitor, things like that. As far as them being responsible for their own learning, that kind of goes into our group work. It all kind of goes into how you pick your groups. You kind of have to, you're going to need a leader, and then the other kids, you're going to have, you don't want to have too many high kids in a group. You don't want to have too many low kids in a group, so they can learn from each other. Not necessarily me facilitating all the learning. Let them learn from each other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
You mix the abilities. You don't just on high and low.
Yeah, and sometimes, that does work. It just depends on what you're doing, but for the most part, I do like to do mixed abilities.
What you're saying, the mixed abilities, we were just learning that's more effective from research. It's more effective than just putting my abilities.
Because they learn from each other. They truly do. They learn from each other better than me sometimes, because they get tired of listening to the teacher sometimes. They want to talk with each other. They want to work with each other.
That's one of my blue sticks.
And how do you ensure the child feels safe in your classroom?
They know that if anything goes wrong, if anybody's bothering them, picking on them, anything like that, that they can always come and tell me, and I will handle it immediately.
Square in there, and then they'll finish my sentences. Yeah.
Sorry. No, you're fine.
Well, when you're paying for
in regards to
you learn really quickly
behavior
how to make the
management,
most out of it.
So do you require
now you did say initially that you
We're
did
not allowed
the
to
conduct
ask.
calendar.
Yes.
Others
It reflects positive and negative, and that's it with Friday with password. Is there anything else in addition to the
verbally, you know,
Behavior.
calendar
but we're not
for
allowed
behavior management?
Well, I mean, as far as the conduct calendar, that's all. But as far as their behavior, I mean, I do offer them incentives for like if they're really good, maybe some extra recess, maybe a treat or a reward of some kind. It just it depends, you know, different kids want different things. You know, some years you may have the kids that really want candy. Sometimes you have the ones that like to go outside and have extra recess. Sometimes, you know, some of them just want to stay inside and just have free time, you know. So it just depends on what they want.
Have you found anything in particular that just doesn't work?
No, not really. I mean, just that just doesn't, no. Because something that doesn't work for me this year, it may work next year, or it may have worked in the past.
Okay. And last question is, how are you using positive reinforcement to prevent behavior management issues?
I remind them, like, you know, for instance, if they start getting a little out of hand, you know, I'll just make a comment like, you want to go outside for, you know, a few extra minutes, you know, on Friday, or, you know, just something like that. It's just little reminders, subtle reminders. Or like if they are doing very well, you know, say something like, you know, I see you guys are really wanting to go outside Friday because, you know, the way you're acting, you know, you're showing me that you want to go out and you're doing very good.
Call it Who's Famous, and whoever there's pictures of students working in class. We also have videos of them doing this in class and they get to show their parents.
All right. Thank you.